in the Electro-Voice universe. And here we are going to speak with Paul Heyerdahl about the Everse. Paul, we have the 8s and the 12s. Give us the rundown. I know you're very excited about these products.
Sure. So but the way I like to start talking about these speakers is I like to define them first, right? So you either have an 8-inch or a 12-inch battery-powered weatherized loudspeaker, all right? This is more of a prosumer. It's not a consumer piece. It's more prosumer because there's so many features that are built into this one, all right? So as of right now, I'll just kind of walk you through both of them and just kind of give you a quick tour of it, right?
Sure.
So on the 8-inch version itself, as you guys can see right now, it's in a kickback mode, okay? So the kickback mode itself allows you to sit back for a 55 or a 30-degree angle, so you can put it on the floor and then really kind of shoot your audio up and at you if you'd like to, right? Or you can set it straight down, right? There is a pull mount on the bottom if you'd like the pull mount. And again, whatever I'm talking about with this one also is on the 12-inch version as well, right? You can even use it as a monitor on the side as well too, okay?
Oh my
If you
God.
wanted to use it as a stage monitor where there's not power readily available, but you can throw an XLR cable to it, you can do that, right? So there's 3 different modes or ways that you can use this thing, either kickback, pull mounting, or as a monitor as well, right?
Sure.
One thing to note, again, I said at the beginning, it's an 8-inch or a 12-inch battery-powered weatherized loudspeaker, right? So when you look at the back side of this guy, you can see right here, there's a little area that a cover is supposed to go on the back of, and the covers are not out here right now, it's NAMM, right? Stuff goes missing, but there's a cover that goes over the top of all of your inputs. So when you're streaming audio to this, it is a IP43 rated speaker, okay? Now, obviously there's connections on the back, right? So if you don't have the cover there, is it still IP43 rated? We do have a cover as an accessory that goes over the top, that when you do have things plugged in on the back, there's a little bump out on the back for the connection, which makes it IP53 rated. All right?
Yeah.
The other part about this too, which I like, and I'll try to pull this up so the camera can see it, but when I turn my flashlight on, I'm like, on here, you can see that there's a hydrophobic cloth right behind the grill.
Yep.
Right? That hydrophobic cloth wicks away any water. So again, it's a weatherized loudspeaker that you can use in any environment. Oh, and by the way, it's battery powered. Okay.
Yeah. So I know. So speaking of the EVERSE12,
Yes.
that's 12 hours of battery life, is what I understand.
I will dive into that for a second. So when you talk about these speakers, we like to use it as, because obviously there's other competitors out there that make battery powered speakers. So we like to use a set dB level. Okay. So at 95 dB for the EVERSE8, you're going to get 12 hours of battery life. For the EVERSE12, it's 14 hours of battery life.
What?
Yes.
At 95
dB. And I'll explain.
That's slightly louder than a lawnmower.
Totally, right? But the reason that it's longer, right, for the EVERSE12 is specifically because when you're trying to push all those frequencies out of a smaller box, you get a lot of friction, right?
Sure.
It's physics when it comes down to it. When you jump up to a larger enclosure like the EVERSE12, it allows for less friction. You get more tones out of it at the same time, and it's less drain on the battery. By the way, the battery for each of these is the exact same battery in either one, so you can swap them if you need to.
No way.
Yes.
How do they recharge?
So they recharge inside the speaker. Great question, right? The only way to charge them right now is in the speaker. So you can use this as a powered speaker if you'd like to.
Oh, wow.
Or again, when you have it plugged in, it is charging the battery. Once it gets to full, it's not using the battery anymore if it's plugged in, right? A big question that I get with these two is people ask, what's the wattage, right? I love to tell people this, that wattage is only power consumption, right? It has very little to do with how loud it gets.
Sure.
To answer the question, it's a 400 watt speaker when it's plugged in. The wattage does vary when it's on the battery power, depending on the charge level of the battery, okay? However, when we talk about decibels, because when we're talking about speakers, we want to talk about how loud something gets, right?
Yeah.
The 8-inch version goes up to 121 dB.
What?
Yes. And another common question I get with that is, hey, what if you max it out? You go up to 121 dB. If you do that, you cut your battery life in half, which is still long because it's 6 hours of battery,
Yeah.
right? Same thing with the EVERSE12. The EVERSE12 goes up to 126 dB, right? And you go from 14 hours of battery life down to 7. But still, you get 7 hours of battery life.
Yeah. If you're doing a 7-hour show, take a set break, for goodness sake.
Absolutely. So a couple other key features about this, not only being a battery-powered weatherized loudspeaker, but on the back side, you have a 4-channel mixer on both the 8 as well as the 12-inch version, okay?
Oh, wow.
The mixer is powered by Dynacord. So Dynacord is our sister company that makes powered amplifiers and everything else and mixers and whatnot. And looking at the back side of this, just to give you a kind of a quick tour, you have channels 1 and 2 on the back, which are your XLR or your 1/4 inch, okay? However, on channel 1, you have phantom power. So if you want to use condenser microphones, you can turn that on channel 1. And then channel 2 is a high Z input. So you want to plug a guitar directly into this, you can. Now, what's great about this, again, it's channel 1 and 2 are your first two, and then 3 and 4 is where you're going to get your Bluetooth from. But any of these inputs, there's 30 different effects that are built into the speaker itself.
What?
So if you want to add reverb, you want to add chorus, you want to add delay, you want to add any of these things to your mix through the 4-channel mixer, you can do it because it's built in inside. Okay? So with that, right, so I talk about the effects for a second. There's a reason that there's a foot switch connection on the back. If you were to use a latching foot switch on the back side of this speaker, let's say, for instance, you're performing at a coffee shop, right?
Yeah.
You got reverb on your voice, a little delay on your guitar, and in between songs, you want to talk to the audience with a dry signal. You can use that latching foot switch, kill your effects, talk with a dry signal. When you go back into performance mode, to hit that latching foot switch on, and go back, and you have your reverb turned back on. So that's really the foot switch, is to turn your effects on and off.
And is that assignable? Can you change what the foot switch?
No, it's only for the
effects.
Yeah, for the effects. All right.
That's great.
However, but you can assign effects to individual channels if you'd like.
Okay,
which is great. Okay. Again, you can also connect via the 1/8-inch connection on the back if you want for channels 3 and 4. So if you want to hardwire into this rather than Bluetooth, you can. Since there's a 4-channel mixer in there, there's Bluetooth control as well. Okay, so you can control this with our EV Quick Smart app, which is iOS or Android, which is great, right? But at the same time, it's Bluetooth streaming, it's Bluetooth control, and there's true wireless stereo built into this one. Okay, so if you want a stereo representation, you can stream audio to this one, and then wirelessly connect to another speaker that has true wireless stereo and get a true wireless representation of your audio coming in.
Yeah.
No cables between them, which is fantastic. Okay.
That is fantastic. I don't know of Bluetooth, speakers that do that.
Right.
Like,
to share the audio between the two.
Yeah.
Now, I wish I was done. I'm not, right? There's a few more things that are on the
Wait, there's more.
There's a whole lot more. So there's a USB-C connection on the back. So if you want to power devices directly from this speaker, you can do that. But also, if you would like to power a wireless microphone receiver directly from the battery-powered speaker, you can do that because there's a little 12-volt connection on the back. Okay. Now this brings up a question of, well, wait a second, there's a barrel connection here, and normally when you power a wireless mic receiver, it goes into the wall. When you buy the tray, that's an accessory for the Everse, either the 12 or the 8-inch. It comes with the cable that will power a wireless mic receiver and plug into the backside of the speaker. So you can be fully remote with a wireless microphone out in the middle of the woods if you'd like to, and power everything directly from there for up to 14 hours.
And the fully weatherized thing, I played a gig one time, and rain was in the forecast. Suddenly it started coming down. I had to buy a new PA system. This is built for, obviously you don't want to dunk it, but this is built for the elements if you're going to.
Correct. So it's an IP43 rated. So what the 43 means in that, the 4 deals with the moisture, like what's going to come at it. In the number 43, by the way, the 4 deals with what level of moisture it'll take, what angle of moisture will it take. This will take up to a 60-degree angle of moisture coming at it, and it'll wick away any of that water. The 3 deals with like dust and debris, like solid pieces that are going to come in, right? And how big of a piece will actually penetrate this. And again, so the IP43 rated, that's where that comes from, right?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you're wondering who's going to use this, right?
Oh, I already have it in my head. I'm like, yeah.
Right.
Any outdoor performance.
Absolutely. So outdoor performance, right? Somebody who, buskers, people who are on the sidewalk. Obviously, houses of worship, right? So houses of worship have so many different either cry rooms or, stuff that they're doing with their youth, right? That they want to just take a PA system and go out and play music or do something outside, right? Perfect application for them to do this. Education, same thing. If you're out on the, maybe some of the athletic fields and you need to be able to get your word out there, or music, walk-up music for a baseball field or some stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
You can use these things in those different applications, and they're so versatile because not only the battery length, but the weatherization on it as well.
It's fantastic.
So one more tagline for you here.
Yep.
The difference between these two specifically, the tagline for this one is louder, lower, longer. Okay, louder because it goes up to 126 dB, just to recap, over 121, right? Lower because it's a 12-inch version rather than an 8-inch version, so you're going to feel those lower frequencies. And then longer, which is the longer battery time, all right? That's the one thing. The only physical difference other than the size between these two is there's a compression driver for your highs in this one.
Oh, great.
Okay? So the compression driver, what it's going to do is it's going to take those high frequencies, and when you're using a 12-inch speaker, you're going to have a larger crowd, right?
Yep.
And you're going to need to hit more people. So you're going to need those high frequencies to hit the back of the room at the same time as your low frequency.
Yeah.
So using a titanium driver in the compression driver that's at the top will allow you to get those cleaner, crisper highs to the back of the room.
So you guys have thought of everything.
Pretty much. Our engineers are fantastic at what they do, and most people don't know this, but we're owned by Bosch, right?
Yeah.
So Bosch, the product manager that we have, his name's Andrew Cho. He came over from our power tools division of Bosch, and that's where he brought the battery technology. And Bosch is very well known in the power tools world of having long battery life, right? So it's a lithium-ion battery that's in the back. Once again, the way to charge it is truly through the port on the back. We don't have a charging station just yet.
Yep.
But it charges internally in the speaker, and you can remove the battery if you'd like to.
So you can pre-charge a couple batteries and then have them replaced.
Again, the battery itself, you can see there's a couple wing nuts on the bottom. You can remove them if you'd like to, charge them in a speaker somewhere, and have them ready to go if you have a 48-hour,
Live stream telethon.
Exactly.
Outdoors.
Exactly.
More coming later. FullCompass.com.